Hello and welcome to the Chaos to Clarity podcast. My name is Maggie, aka your business bestie. I teach female coaches, speakers, and course creators to release procrastination and perfection so that they can get more done, book more clients, and have the time freedom that all entrepreneurs crave. This is not your typical business coaching podcast. We're talking about business, life, probably some wooey magic, and probably some singing or referencing song lyrics along the way. So if you're into business building, making more money, and getting a little bit of a mindset shift along with having a good laugh, you're definitely in the right place. I've grown 3 businesses from $0 to consistent 4 and 5 figure months over the last 15 plus years. And now I'm helping you do the same thing. It didn't happen overnight, and it certainly didn't happen without the help of others. They say it takes a village to raise children, and I believe it takes a village to grow a business as well. So in this podcast, you'll find people who help you grow your village, cheer you on, as well as holding you accountable. I'm so excited you're here, and I can't wait for you to listen to each episode. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I am so excited. Today I have with me Cindy, and I'm going to let her share with you exactly who she is and who she serves.
Hey, everybody. I am so excited to be here with all of you. I am in Southern California. I am a wife, a mom. We are also volunteer puppy raisers with guide dogs for the blind. So we have a lot going on at home. And then professionally, I actually have 2 businesses. I've partnered with doTERRA International, and I'm a wellness advocate with a team of international wellness advocates. And we help people with their health through natural plant-based, toxin-free essential oils and products. And I am also a one-on-one video and voice coach and help people increase their confidence and skills in front of the camera and microphone for podcasters and clubhousers and the like, so that their business can shine in the spotlight.
Cool. I love that. I have been just loving how many people have just come into my sphere for this podcast, and the things that they do are all so different, but all so like, it's just so much fun to connect with people like you.
Oh, I think so too.
Awesome. All right. So the first question that I have for you is, what is something challenging that you overcame in your business or businesses?
So I think that you hit the nail on the head. It really was the creation of my second business. And it's kind of a funny story when I look back on it now. Okay. So 2020, March 13th of 2020, which is an ominous day for a lot of people, because that was the day that, if you're a mama, schools closed and the world really shifted into pandemic mode. We didn't even know that we were in a pandemic, but that was also the day that we sold our house. The house we wanted fell through because of COVID, but we were so far down this road that we decided we'll be just fine. So we sell our house and we move in temporarily with my parents, who live in the same area, are amazing people. And we expected, it was springtime, right? So houses come on the market a lot during the spring and the summer. Well, if you followed the housing market, what typically happens did not happen.
Right.
Inventory shrank, housing prices skyrocketed, and we were kind of homeless. So we were living with my parents. Our entire life was put in storage. We moved into my parents' house, ready for it, 2 teenage boys, my husband, and our dog.
Wow.
This wasn't necessarily an expected life event. The good news is we all get along. My husband adores them. They adore him. So all of that is good. But my husband works from home and I pretty much work from home. And now all of a sudden we didn't have anywhere to work. So long story short, I'll try, I promise, is that everybody needed to pivot our doTERRA businesses online. And I started to do that and felt really comfortable doing it, and even thought it was fun now that I was reaching out internationally to people because of so many Zoom networking meetings that were popping up. And I was just getting a chance to meet so many more people. So things were good. I was having a fun time. I actually created another revenue source and created something called the doTERRA Facebook party and sold that as an additional income stream because I have a background in training and development. So all of that was going smoothly. And people started to reach out to me, and other doTERRA teams asked if I could do a workshop on how just to get comfortable in front of the camera to help their teams. So I said, sure, no problem, put that together, had a lot of fun doing that. And then people started to connect with me on Messenger saying, can you help me one-on-one?
Mm-hmm.
And so then this second business was born of one-on-one coaching. Now, remember where I was living. I was in my parents' house. There's no home office. There's no place for me to go. There's no space. So I hijacked my parents' bathroom.
Okay. Oh
and
my gosh.
I literally pivoted during the pandemic from my parents' potty.
If that's not a tagline, I don't know what is.
Right. I started to be known on international Zoom channels as, oh, you're that girl in the potty. Now you have to understand I wasn't in the potty. Okay.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
sink over here, ring light in the center, bada bing.
Yeah.
But on their wardrobe mirror, I would put what I call the call sheet in there. And I have a Zoom at 10, I have a Zoom at 12, I have a thing at 1, I have a thing at 2. And they, God bless them, they would work around my schedule. And my dad would like text me like, when can I get in there? Or it wasn't the only potty in the house. So let's be clear. I wasn't keeping people from doing whatever they needed to do, but it was their bedroom, right?
Yeah.
So that's the challenge that I overcame. I just decided that there's no perfect. I couldn't wait to start the second business. People needed what I had to offer now. And I wanted to work with clients who would honestly be able to empathize with similar situations. And that's kind of who I started to coach.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what a huge service that you're able to provide, right? And to be able to step into that, even when you're a little scared and you're like, I don't know how this is going to work, but here we go. We're doing it.
We're doing it.
Yeah, I feel like that is just such a testament to just like trusting the process, right? And I think some people, it's really hard to trust the process of like, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? What happens? And not trying to like lay out your whole future ahead of you, right? Just trusting that like this next step is what I'm supposed to take. And then I'm going to take the next one, and not worrying about, like 10 steps down the line, worrying about like, what's the next thing I have to do and the next, and I'm going to figure it out. Right.
And just getting out of your head.
Yes.
Just getting out of your head. And really what my focus was, what my motivation and drive was that I was serving others.
Yeah.
And if somebody had an issue that I was pivoting from the pandemic from my parents' potty, then they could go find somebody else who could help them.
Yep.
But the majority of people, and so many of them have become my friends. Like I now have international places to visit. It's just the coolest thing. So
that's so amazing. I love that story so much. I think there's just so much value in there, right? Like just, you can do anything. You can do it. And also, something that I've learned over the last 15 years of business is that I can help anyone, but I can't help everyone. So not everyone is going to be for me. My clients are who they are. And I think that's just such a beautiful thing.
Me too.
Awesome. Okay. So my second question is, what is one piece of advice that you would tell your younger self? Now, this could be childhood, yesterday, anywhere in between.
Yeah, it totally piggybacks on all of my experience that I just shared with you. And it really do follow the motto, what would you attempt if you knew you could not fail?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And kids really intrinsically do this. They have that motto just going in the background, right? And they try things and they fail and they pick themselves up and they learn and they do it again and they try something else and they do something else. And we need that as adults to really push ourselves and create things that we didn't even know were possible. So what would you attempt if you knew you could not fail? And then just dive in.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. My son is about 1.5 and he he learned to walk about, I would say about 6 weeks ago, he started taking his first steps. So it's just so true, right? Like watching him learn to walk and him being the second child, much more like, okay, you do your thing, buddy. Right. With my daughter, I felt like we were like, oh my gosh, don't take a wrong step. Let me help you up. And with him, it was much more like,
don't fall.
Yeah. Whereas now
you gotta
fall. Right? Like, good job, buddy. You made it one step. Let's get back up, you know? So yeah, keeping that front of mind.
Sorry about that. And what we learn from our failure, we can't even call them failures, right? If we think about them as learning opportunities and using kids as an example, right? Every time your son falls, he's not like, I failed. Right. I suck at this. I'm never going to learn how to walk. Like, that's not how our brains start.
Right.
It's just how we unfortunately develop them. And we just have to be able to stop that and refocus, reframe.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. My 5-year-old, she's definitely, I can see that starting to form where she'll do things like she'll build with Magna-Tiles or Legos and all of a sudden it'll fall. I can't do this. And, so at five, such a young age, I'm like, oh man. Okay. So my husband and I have both been really trying to be like, oh, well, how could you build this differently? Could we use some different pieces to build this tower, right? To help show her that like, you don't have to just give up. And I was very surprised that at 5 she's already like talking that way, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, we gotta like, let's hop on this right now. I don't want her to like develop some of those not so great habits, right? Like I want her to understand, and she is very creative, so she loves that kind of game about like, oh, there's more ways. Oh, let's see what else we can do. Right. And that excitement behind it.
Yeah. And how great of you to identify that,
right.
Good for you.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So my last question, if you were a kitchen utensil, what would you be and why?
Okay. First of all, I love this question and it makes me giggle, but I would be one of those handheld frothers.
I love it.
Because they go in, they get the job done. They make your life easier. I take collagen every single morning, and that's the tool that I use every single day. Not only does that product help my body, but that frother helps it help my body. Yeah. And so it's just that it's compact, it's quick and easy, and it gets the job done.
That's so awesome. I love that. I also love how many different answers. I mean, this question is definitely like so open-ended. Like everybody has a different answer, a different reason why, and it's just like so cool to me to hear everybody's answers.
I'd also say too, an air fryer.
Yeah.
Only because those are kind of new to my life. And I'm just like, wow, this made dinner simple. I just want to be the air fryer queen at this point. What's for dinner? Something in the air fryer? What's for dinner, Mom? Air fryer?
It's so easy. And it's so much quicker than turning on the oven.
I know. So I'm all about simplifying and getting the job done.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, Cindy, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I am so excited to stay in connection with you and just help you and watch you grow.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been a blast.
Wow, what a great interview. Thank you so much for showing up here on the Chaos to Clarity podcast. Again, my name is Maggie. I'm so excited to connect with you. You can find all of the information, all of the links below in the show notes for today's interview. And I hope you have the best day ever.